Hey guys, welcome back to another episode in the deep playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3. We just finished the boss fight with the pain. It was quite a pain in the ass, that boss fight. Haha, no pun intended. Or maybe there was a pun intended. I didn't do too well, but I managed to beat him in 2 tries. And we already saw this cutscene at the ending of the previous episode, but let's have it run anyways. Alright, let's get some communication going.
The exit from the cave should be toward the back. Proceed through the cave and find the exit to the swamp aqueduct.
Unless I don't remember, I already did so in the previous episode. That could very well be. Let's see if it sounds familiar.
When you get shot, you'll
Yeah, this is familiar.
You're on a solo sneaking mission. Your success is based on your ability to survive. That's where the survival viewer comes in. The survival viewer contains everything you need to survive out in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage, and backpack to select your gear. Use food to eat, cure to treat wounds, and map to view a detail of the area. You've also got options that let you change the settings to suit your mission preferences. Got it?
Got it. And let's do one Eva.
pass through that area to the north and you'll reach the aqueduct. But be careful. The aqueduct is patrolled by flying platforms.
Flying platforms?
Soldiers hovering in the air.
This is a new
I've
one.
heard stories, but...
They've already been implemented over here. It goes to show that America isn't #1 in everything.
If you have more
By the way,
details
Snake,
to share.
do you have a calorie mate?
Yeah,
Is it any good?
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh.
You want it?
What?
Do you want the calorie mate?
What? What are you saying?
You want it, don't you?
I didn't say that.
So you don't want it then?
No. But if you were going to give it to me as a token of thanks for me helping you out, then of course I wouldn't refuse it.
Alright,
Are
let's...
you on a diet?
What did you say?
Calorie mate is supposed to be really good for losing weight.
Are you saying I'm fat?
No.
I'm not on a diet, and I don't need one. I just wanted to try the taste.
Oh, sorry.
Be careful with what you say.
Yeah, sorry.
So, is it true?
Is what true?
That it's good for losing weight?
Yeah. Calorie Mate provides a nutritionally balanced source of energy, and it makes counting calories easy. That's what's supposed to make it good for dieting.
Oh, I see.
I heard that all of the geisha in Japan use it.
Geisha?
Yeah,
I've never heard about that.
really?
Yes. I'm sure there are some geisha out there using Calorie Mate for diets, but I doubt all of them are using it.
No, I guess not.
That was pretty funny. Let's keep one calorie mate on Snake at all times. So maybe in a future cutscene with Eva, that could maybe unlock something that he will give it to her. But probably I will forget about it and eat it anyways. But let's try not to forget. Keep one calorie mate.
Pass through that area to the...
Alright, let's do that. And I needed to... God damn it. Sometimes the collision boxes are really weird. Why doesn't Snake... Alright, now it hit it. Alright, and this fruit will unlock an achievement. But that already unlocked earlier, so that's probably why there's no pop-up in the screen. But that fruit actually is the last one of 4 fruits in the game. And if you get them all, you actually get a achievement. And the same goes for animals. I think there are 48 animals and fruit in the game. If you get those all, there's also some kind of achievement. I don't remember this area to be this long. Ah, that's where we came from. Such an idiot. I went the wrong way. A little froggy. And some more snakes. And let's get over there, get some items. And the claymores. Ah, nice! Suddenly I was thinking, yeah, maybe there could be like a frog here. Let's check it out. And there actually is. Very nice. Got you, frog. That also really was, it was pretty well hidden. Now I really have like a feel for where the developers can put those frogs. But it was actually also maybe a bit to be expected. Because I think over here Snake will get down and he won't be able to get back up here anymore. And if then another area loads, then yeah, you have to make sure that you got the frog in the previous area, because each separate area with like one of those loading screens in between does contain a frog. Ah, I thought you actually would have to jump down and were not able to get back up anymore. But that's not the case. Ah, yes, so this really is like the indicator that you're leaving the area. So I would have to have gone back anyways as soon as I've reached this point, and I knew I didn't get a frog yet to try and find it. So I think I would have found it eventually, because that little side cave with the mines and the ammo was the only like really place where something could be hidden. For the rest it were all only like straight passages, so to say. Not a lot of room to hide stuff. Right, pretty cool. I remember this from way back. Let's put on some camo. What do we have? We have water. And I can actually also use, let's for now put on the water, face paint, anything, nope. I can also use the crocodile cap that we have. So let's equip that one. Over here. And maybe some bug juice, but I will check that later for possible leeches over here. And let's also, will they see me? Very cool. Also these swimming frogs. Again, if you look to the water and the reflection and stuff, this is like a 16-year-old game. It simply still looks passable. Or actually good in my view. It's a totally coherent image with detail, variation. It's very nice. It's only 720p, but for me it's like amazing. And in-game it actually looks better than what is displayed on YouTube. I really have to preface that. And is that like a frog over there? Or is that like... Probably it's one of the mushrooms. No, it's a frog. Very nice. So I shoot it. Let's just shoot it immediately. Nice. Alright, the frog is down. Let's get some intel on what we have to do.
I see you found your way to the aqueduct. If you follow it to the north, you'll come to a warehouse used for transporting supplies. Pass through the warehouse and you'll come out into a forest. The lab where Sokolov is being held is directly to the north of that forest, so head north.
Alright, we're still looking for Sokolov.
Snake, Eva mentioned something about a sniper rifle in the western part of Ponyzoviet. A sniper rifle would certainly be a valuable asset to your mission. Swing by the western area and acquire that sniper rifle.
Will do.
Snake, the water in that aqueduct comes up to your waist. Naturally, you won't be able to walk as fast as usual. But you can jump into the water with a roll, or press the crawl button to go underwater and swim your way through. Unlike what you've experienced in training, you'll be able to fire handguns and assault rifles underwater. Keep that in mind. Eva mentioned that that area was guarded by flying platforms. Be careful, they can see a great distance from up there. If a flying platform starts to draw near, you would do well to dive underwater and hide until it passes.
Good tip.
Major,
Yes?
I was just wondering, why do they call you Zero?
What do you mean?
We go back a long ways, but I just realized I never asked you why you're called Zero.
You want to know where it comes from?
Yeah, if that's all right.
It's a bit nostalgic, really.
Nostalgic.
The first British intelligence outfit was established in 1909. The head of the Foreign Intelligence Division was a man named Mansfield George Smith Cumming. He was referred to simply as C after the first letter of his last name. Since then, out of respect for Cumming, the heads of the SIS have traditionally taken the name of C.
And James Bond's boss is called M.
That's right. I myself was once known as O.
And that's where Zero comes from?
Precisely. In another sense, though, it signifies a ghost, one whose true identity must remain a mystery, the primogenitor of the solo sneaking operation.
Is that so?
Right, let's make that a learning moment. What the holy hell is a primogenitor? Here we go. Primogenitor. An ancestor, especially the earliest ancestor of a people, a progenitor. Alright.
The battery recharges automatically when not in use. When you want to recharge the battery, unequip all electronic devices and give it some time. The higher your stamina gauge, the faster your battery recharges. If you want it to recharge faster, eat food and recover your stamina. Also, if you run, roll, or do other dramatic actions, the battery will recharge faster. Snake, I don't recommend running around wildly. You need to determine when it's best to run and when it's best just to walk. Move the left stick slightly to walk. You won't move very fast, but it consumes little stamina, and enemies are less likely to detect you. When you are near enemies or when you need to conserve stamina, those are good times to walk.
Good tip.
With an equipped weapon in overhead view, press and hold the aim button to lock your line of fire while moving in any given direction. Use this for charges or retreats. or any other time that you want to concentrate fire in one direction while moving.
Alright, good tip.
The degree to which you move the left stick not only changes your walking speed, but changes your speed when crawling and for intrusion movement. With large movements of the left stick, you can move faster, but you'll make noise and give yourself away to nearby enemies. With slight movements of the left stick, you can move in silence. It sacrifices speed, but it's the best choice for the times when creating noise presents significant risk. Snake, if you step in any water or mud, your feet will get wet. If you walk like that, you'll leave footprints behind and the enemy may follow them straight to you.
Wow, that's a cool detail.
Try to avoid walking through any water or mud as much as possible. However, if your feet do get wet, just crawl to avoid leaving any footprints behind.
Pretty
When
cool.
you don't want anybody following your trail, make sure to crawl.
Right. One moment, I'm making a little note on that one because I really find that a cool mechanic. Game tip. After water leaves footprints that enemies can follow. Roll to avoid prints. Alrighty, another cool little tidbits. That's why these codec conversations, in my view, are really worthwhile. There's lots of like tongue-in-cheek humor and little tidbits of information.
Equip food as a weapon and press the weapon button to throw the food. If you throw a live animal near an enemy, you may be able to distract him. If an enemy is really hungry, he may pounce at the prospect of food. You have minimal gear on this mission, and you have to make the most use out of anything you can procure on the ground.
True, true.
Snake, the Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. Use it to put enemies to sleep without harming them. The speed with which the tranquilizer takes effect depends on the point of impact on the enemy. If a target is hit on the arm or leg, the tranquilizer won't take effect immediately, but a target hit on the head will drop like a fly. If you want to take an enemy out in a flash, aim for the head.
Right.
Snake, let me explain the enemy's various states of alert. First of all, there's the state in which the enemy in that area doesn't know that you're there. This is called normal phase. In normal phase, the enemy will follow normal procedures for patrols and other activities. They won't present much of a danger to you. But if they spot an intruder, that means you, they'll attack in an attempt to neutralize you. This is called alert phase. Alert phase will last until the enemy loses sight of you. Even after they lose sight of you, the enemy will continue to search the area for a while. This is called evasion phase. Evasion phase will last until the enemy exhausts their search effort. Once evasion phase is over, the enemy should return to base. After the search is aborted, the enemy will enter caution phase. In caution phase, enemy soldiers will be more cautious in their patrols, and they'll likely be more difficult to detect. In addition to the regular patrols, there's also a chance that they'll send out additional search units. Keep on your toes.
Alright, it's maybe a bit much codec all at once, but I actually prefer to once in a while do these codec sessions all in one go, because that really makes it more clear that I actually went through most of them once they start looping around, instead of just doing like one or two intermittently throughout the areas. So let's see if we can get some more information now, all in one go.
After you've grabbed an enemy from behind with CQC, you can interrogate him by pressing the left stick. This is an opportunity to gain intelligence. Some of your enemies have valuable information, so give the technique a try and see what you can learn.
It's actually not pressing the left stick, it's holding the left stick.
Press the crawl button during a run to commence a roll. For a brief interval, you'll perform a jump which can be used to knock down enemies. In contrast to the training you've done so far, you can use rolling to jump waist-high objects. However, remember that rolling consumes more stamina than standard running. Snake, remember that the suppressor is a limited commodity.
I know. No suppressor lasts forever.
Exactly. When the suppressor's durability wears away, it breaks beyond repair. See the weapon icon to check the suppressor's present level of durability. Remove the suppressor from your gun if you want to make it last. Select the weapon that the suppressor is on with the weapon window button, and press the Enter button to attach or detach the suppressor. Regulate usage of the suppressor based on the situation.
True. True.
Snake, certain enemy soldiers are equipped with radios. These signalers can use their radios to transmit information to and from the command headquarters. If a signaler realizes your presence, you can bet he'll be on the horn calling backup from headquarters. After headquarters receives the call for backup, they contact a nearby unit and order them to head over to give support. Once backup arrives, your enemies will outnumber you beyond hope for victory. It'll be too much for even you to handle. If you notice a signaler making a call for backup with his radio, take him out before he has the chance. If the call gets through, retreat before the backup unit arrives. If you hang around too long, you'll find yourself immensely outmatched. Got it?
Got it.
It's possible to destroy the radio that enemy correspondents use. If you must get involved in a fight, destroying the radio first will allow you to concentrate on the battle without worrying about reinforcements. Snake, this operation is a sneaking mission. You'll be doing your job right under the enemy's nose. In the event that you're spotted by an enemy, disable him before he can alert nearby soldiers. If you can take him out before he alerts other enemies of your presence, then the alert phase will quickly be restored to normal phase. But don't forget, even this should only happen in emergencies. Your top priority is to avoid being spotted by the enemy in the first place. Be effective.
Alright, and for me, any alert is a game over anyways. On European extreme difficulty.
Snake, I recommend against leaving the bodies of your victims lying around. If the enemy spots a fallen comrade, they'll realize that they've been infiltrated and strengthen their guard. When you kill an enemy, hide the body in the grass or at some other location where it won't be spotted. Stand near a fallen enemy and press the weapon button with no weapon equipped to grab the body. Hold the weapon button and move to drag the body. Release the weapon button to put the body down. Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from your gun depends on where you hit him. If you hit an arm or leg, one shot won't be enough to finish him. If you want to take an enemy out in one shot, you'll have to use a first-person view attack and get a solid shot to the head.
Alright, these are all pretty much open doors that we already know, but you never know.
You can get inside trees that are hollowed out from decay. Entering a hollow is an effective method for gaining temporary cover from enemies. However, if you're caught entering the tree, you'll take concentrated fire. If they throw a grenade in on you, you'll be torn to shreds. Be careful.
This is all pretty obvious information, but you never know when there might be like a tidbit of extra guidance that you were not thinking of.
Snake, when you stand up against a tree or put your back against the wall near a corner, the camera lowers and gives you a view of behind. This is the corner view. This allows you to keep track of what's occurring behind you when hiding in protected areas. Also, there are a variety of actions possible while hiding, including using the left and right step buttons to peek, and the weapon button to take jump-out shots. Learning how to take advantage of the corner view is the first step towards mission success. Use it to your utmost advantage.
They could have also mentioned like the knocking ability, which is a pretty important mechanic.
In the corner view, press the left step button or the right step button to stick yourself out from a protected area and look over your shoulder. We'll call this action peeking. Peeking is effective for observation, since it gives you a wider range of vision than the normal corner view. However, since it involves revealing part of your body, you put yourself at risk of being spotted by the enemy. Move the right stick with the corner view on to shift the camera in that direction. This won't give you the same wide angle as peeking with the left and right step buttons, but it is safer since it will keep you from exposing your body too much. You'll do well to get accustomed to it.
Right.
If you have a gun equipped during the corner view, press the weapon button to jump out and take a jump out shot. With the jump out shot technique, you can stay protected from enemy fire behind an obstruction and launch a burst attack when the time is right. This is a crucial technique for firefights. Use it well.
Right. Man, there's a lot of codec material.
By equipping grenades and pressing the weapon button in corner view mode, you can throw a grenade while hiding behind a barrier. This technique should come in handy during a firefight. Use it well. Press the action button when you're on top of a branch or in front of a railing to hang down from that spot. This action is called hanging. Sometimes it's advantageous to move while hanging rather than walking on the surface. Also, by hanging, you can hide by staying out of the sight of your enemies. While hanging, use the left stick, left step button and right step button to move left and right. When you want to climb back up from your hanging position, press the action button once more. If you want to drop down, press the crawl button. You can't keep hanging forever. Once you run out of grip strength, you'll fall. Check your grip strength with the grip gauge. When you hang, a blue gauge appears above the stamina gauge. This is the grip gauge. It indicates the status of your grip. When hanging, the grip gauge drops. When the grip gauge expires, you will fall, so you must climb back up before that happens. The length of the grip gauge depends upon your stamina. If you need to hang for a long period, you'll have to revive your stamina first.
Makes sense.
If there's something to grab onto during a fall, press the action button when you pass in front of it. If you get the timing right, you'll be able to grab and hang onto that area. With this technique, you can reach locations that are inaccessible by other means. You may even find some rare items this way. Observe your geographic surroundings and try to find spots that you could grab during a fall.
Alright, so that's indeed a hint that there might be secret areas only accessible by falling and grabbing a ledge below. So that is good to keep in mind.
Press the crawl button while hanging to drop straight down. You can knock an enemy instantly unconscious with this technique if you land on top of him. When you're in a tree, try aiming for an enemy passing beneath.
Alright, that's for instance like something new I was expecting but did not really know for sure. So that's good info.
Press the action button from on top a branch to hang down from the tree, but you can only remain hanging as long as your grip strength lasts. Keep an eye on your grip gauge when dangling from a tree. Be careful. With low stamina, your grip won't last long. If you approach an enemy undetected, you can render him defenseless by jutting a gun into his body from behind. This is called a hold-up. However, even after rendering an enemy defenseless, if he notices you put your weapon away or start to walk away, he will attack. So, be careful. When you hold an enemy up, sometimes he will give you an item. Conducting a hold-up presents risks, but it is a useful technique when you're running low on ammunition or medical items. After you've received an item from a hold-up, you might try holding the enemy up again. He might give up a more precious, hidden item.
Alright, that's good information. That mostly the more precious items are probably given later in the hold-up sequence. So it does pay off fully shaking down enemies.
You can climb up onto waist-high objects by pressing the action button. Climbing can get you to locations that can't be accessed by walking, and it may help you reach items that can't be found normally. Don't forget to try climbing things.
Also good tip. So dropping from ledges to access secret areas and also climbing up objects to possibly access secret areas with goodies.
Snake, press the left stick down on the radio screen to open the memory window. In the memory window, select a person to contact and press the enter button. This saves you the time of adjusting the frequency. The battlefield airwaves are littered with various transmissions. You can find a real catch if you fiddle around enough.
That's also pretty funny. I could just try and use the tune option in the codec to find like hidden radio transmissions. We can do that later. I will also make a little note on that one. Fiddle around 1 second with codec to find hidden frequencies. Alright, nice tip.
Press the CQC button when you're up against a wall to knock on the wall and make a sound. Creating sounds can attract the attention of enemies. There are many ways to use sound to your advantage. Use it to lure an enemy in the wrong direction. Then use that opportunity to slip by. Or lure an enemy near you, then ambush the enemy from behind. Use it to your utmost advantage. Snake, if you find an item box, use first-person view to take a good look and find out what's inside. Sometimes it's dangerous to blindly go after an item. That's why you should check first to make sure the item in the item box is worth the trouble. If you can't get a good look, you can use your binoculars.
Alright, so it can be dangerous, like meaning that it's like a booby-trapped item box or something. I was not aware of that.
When you press the weapon button with the handgun, you aim, and when you release it, you fire. If, after aiming, you wish to withdraw your aim without firing, release the weapon button slowly. You'll just have to practice until you get the hang of it. I've heard of a lot of cases where fresh recruits accidentally fired on enemies during a hold-up. If you train yourself now, you won't be liable to misfire when the pressure's on. If you're unsure of yourself, you should practice.
So actually the game itself also admits that it's like a stupid mechanic. Because indeed I also have so many accidental discharges, even after practicing substantially. But yeah, it is what it is. There's, of course, you can also just use the weapon menu button to holster your weapon. But yeah, via the weapon button, the shoot button, it is really finicky to lower your weapon without discharging it.
The assault rifle works a little differently from the handgun. Press the weapon button lightly to aim and press the weapon button fully to fire. If you want to lower the weapon without firing, such as during a hold-up, just release the weapon button without fully pressing it. Be careful not to fire the weapon the moment you aim.
Why doesn't the pistol simply have the same mechanic? That's much more convenient for lowering your weapon without the risk of accidental discharge. I don't understand.
The distance that you throw grenades and other throwable weapons is determined by how hard you press the weapon button. A light press of the weapon button will toss the weapon nearby, while a hard press of the button will hurl it farther. Adjust the strength of the button press as appropriate. You can also throw in first-person view. With this view, you can throw more accurately at specific targets. Use it as necessary. In first-person view, use the right step button to take one step right and the left step button to take a step left. Use it to attack while hiding behind barriers and to step out of hidden spots to scout.
Man, he has a lot of
During
tips.
first-person view, Press the left and right step buttons at the same time to stretch up slightly from that position. It's useful when you're hiding behind barriers and scouting or in a shootout. When you creep inside a small space, the overhead view switches to the intrusion view. Movement during the intrusion view is a bit different from movement during the overhead view. Use up on the left stick to advance, down to go backwards, and left and right to rotate. Use directional button left and right to shift left and right. With large movements of the left stick, you move faster but create sound. Nearby enemies might notice you. With slight movements of the left stick, you can move without making a sound, but at the expense of speed. Use both types of movement in appropriate situations. Snake, did you notice that when you knock an enemy unconscious, stars appear over his head? If you take a close look at the stars above the enemy's head, you'll notice that they gradually disappear, one at a time. Once the stars are all gone, the enemy becomes conscious again and returns to battle. So, when you knock out an enemy, be sure to plan for his recovery. Thermal goggles create a thermal image based on the heat emitted by objects in view. With the thermal goggles equipped, you'll be able to quickly spot enemies hidden deep within the jungle. Also, you can locate plants, animals, and traps. Use it to your advantage. However, once you activate the thermal goggles, you begin draining battery energy. And remember, once you're out of battery juice, you won't be able to use your other electronic devices.
Alright.
Press the crawl button while hanging to drop straight down. You can knock an enemy instantly unconscious with this technique if you land on top of him. When you're in a tree, try aiming for an enemy passing beneath.
Alright, this looks like a loop. Now maybe we have exhausted all his options.
After you've grabbed an enemy from behind with CQC.
Yes. Alright, so that was 0. Let's see what Paramedic has to say.
I see you found a Russian false mango. The Russian false mango is a mango-like fruit found only in Salino Yard.
Yeah, we already heard that one yesterday.
Snake, whatever happens
previous
to you,
episodes?
make sure you leave a descendant, okay?
This one as well.
Snake, that area is home to the big-eye trevally. The big-eye trevally is a type of mackerel. The adult fish lives around coral reefs, but the young can be found in freshwater areas such as estuaries and rivers.
Good to know. So, how do they taste?
The guidebook doesn't say.
Huh. Well, if they're a kind of mackerel, they should be okay to eat, right?
You'd think so, but...
But what?
Well, I've heard stories about people getting ciguatera poisoning after eating the adult fish.
Ciguatera poisoning?
Uh-huh. Fishes that live near coral reefs are sometimes contaminated with a poison known as ciguatera toxin. It apparently gives you food poisoning when you eat it.
So I can't eat those big-eyed trevally?
I don't know whether those trevally are contaminated with ciguatera or not, but use caution just in case.
Right, I was just checking the translation or the meaning of estuary.
Snake,
The
that
mouth
area
of a
should be
river.
inhabited by tree frogs. The tree frog is a green frog that's found throughout Asia. It's arboreal, spending most of its time in shrubs and bushes. Snake, that area is inhabited by magpies. Magpies are dark blue and white birds with long tails that belong to the crow family. You should be able to capture them alive using the tranquilizer gun. Snake, it says here you can catch maroon sharks in that area. The maroon shark is found mostly in Southeast Asia, but it's not actually a shark. It's related to the carp. It's also known as the red-finned cigar shark, the river barb, and the sultan fish.
Right, we already heard that one before.
Some types of food spoil faster than others. Animal and fish meat goes bad relatively fast, but plants and mushrooms generally last a little longer. Animals won't go bad if you capture them alive, though. You can tell whether food has gone bad or not by looking closely at the icon.
This one is also already, we saw this one. Alright, that's a really fun mechanic. I should actually let it run. If you get food poisoning, you can wiggle Snake around in the survival viewer. He gets super dizzy and nauseous, and then he starts, when you return in game, he vomits, and that cures your food poisoning. Really funny. But it also takes a big chunk of stamina, I understood.
You say they have flying platforms out there? Flying platforms are a type of personal VTOL aircraft.
They were working on those in America, too, weren't they?
Yeah, back in the 50s. They were supposedly going to be used for scouting and patrol missions, as well as to spot for artillery units and transport troops into rough territory. They even got an initial prototype off the ground in 1955. But the thing wasn't fast enough, and there were problems with getting it to stop and turn in midair, so they ended up scrapping the project. The ones you see there were built by the Soviets after they got their hands on the American design plans. The American model used a pair of contra-rotating rotors to generate lift, but those Soviet models seem to be using jet engines instead. They must have kept going with their research after the US abandoned its own project. Now they've finally overtaken us. You gotta give them credit for sticking with it. If you get spotted by an enemy riding a flying platform, they'll go into alert phase. The flying platforms themselves don't seem to be armed, but the pilots are carrying Scorpion submachine guns and grenades. The recoil on the Scorpion is low enough so that they should be able to fire one-handed in full auto mode. That gives them some serious firepower.
Alright, good to know.
Whenever you find a new weapon or piece of equipment, the first thing you do is drop it in your backpack, right? But you can't use your new goodies if they're just sitting in your backpack. To use a weapon or piece of equipment, first you have to take it out of your backpack and place it on your person. To take an item out of your backpack, use the backpack option in the survival viewer. To place a weapon on your person, select Weapon under the Backpack section of the survival viewer. See that window on the left? That shows a list of all the weapons you've got. Choose the weapon you want to carry from the list and press the Enter button to take it out of your backpack. Just remember that there's a limit to the number of weapons you can carry at the same time, so put back any stuff you don't need. To put a weapon on your person back into your backpack, choose a weapon that's already on you from the weapon list and press the Enter button. Or you can just line up the icon for the weapon you want to put away with the lower right and press the Enter button. Do whatever works best. The armor plating on the body of a flying platform is bound to be pretty thick. I don't think you're going to be able to penetrate it with a handgun or an assault rifle. When you're up against a flying platform, try and aim for either the pilot or the engine on the underbelly. The flying platforms have a searchlight attached to the front. If you knock it out, that should handicap its scouting ability. And in some cases, it might even have to go back to base for repairs.
Pretty cool. Let's also make that a note. That's a nice little tweak. Game tip. Flying platforms search lights can be shot out to hinder ability or let it return to base. Alright, that are all pretty fun little exotic mechanics I find that I want to just note for my personal notebook. I'm running through the whole series of Metal Gear Solid. At least that is my plan. Will probably take a long while. And I really want to take notes also from the story, because it's so convoluted and complex. Sometimes it just is a bit much to all remember, so I'm actually taking notes.
The armor plating on the body of a flying platform is bound to...
Right. We already heard this one. He is looping. So now let's see what Eva has to say. No response. So that concludes the pretty long codec section. There is a new, what I understood, fish over here. I think it was some kind of, I don't remember the name. But let's try and shoot it to collect it. I think I cannot get that a trophy anymore to collect all the animals, because in the beginning of the game I wasn't that strict on it. But maybe I can still do that if animals from earlier in the game also appear later on. Then I can maybe still tackle them. But let's now not go here. Let's eat something. I need to make some room, and also, shall I eat one? Yeah, just let's eat one with the risk of his stomach turns. So let's see if Snake has food poisoning. Yes, we do. Let's try that mechanic that we just heard about. Let's get Snake to vomit. Here we go. Oh. Come on, Snake. You can do this. And the other way around. And we're good to go. Oh. I need to... Hopefully this actually works in the water. Otherwise I'm pretty screwed. And I really don't want to reload the game now, because then I'm maybe... I really want to go to the next save, next area. Because otherwise I'm afraid that all those codec conversations that we just heard will pop up again. And I really want to avoid like duplication on that. So I still have 12 minutes. I do have to step it up a bit. I have 12 minutes left in the episode. And I really want to get through to the next area. Without dying, preferably. To avoid those repeat of the same codec messages. Which I expect it will all be reset once I enter the area, or die and do a game over in the same area. Anyway, let's try. What were we doing? We were trying to vomit. So let's do this a bit longer. Come on, Snake, you can do this. It's pretty cool as well. Like his bandana, it's actually at the back. Those two bandana ends, they really move with the direction of turning. Pretty cool. And if you go the other side, they move the other side. Nice little detail. Ah, shit, it doesn't work here. But I do think maybe that I have digestive medicine now. Yes, please. Yes, I do. Very nice. Alright. Let's lose all the rotten food. And eat some stuff. Let's shoot that fish. I think it might be that one. Although this one looks like that maroon shark that we already had, but let's try it anyways. Alright, we already killed the frog. So now the idea is to get through here. Alright, which fish did I pick up now? think it was fish C or something. I think it's just a maroon shark that I picked up. We want to get that other fish, the new fish. I think that's this one. Where is it? I think that's it. Or is that also maroon? Ah, that's the arowana. We already had those as well. Alright, I'm not really sure whether these dudes can see me. These are the same kind of fish. I think this is the new fish. Let's get the weapon out. Oh, damn it! Holy shit. Ah, screw me. Screw me. I really hope that all those codec, if I now go to the codec, will I get like all the same entries? That it were so many entries.
I see you found your way to the aqueduct.
Yes.
Snake, Eva mentioned something about...
Yes, it's all the same. God damn.
Snake, the water in that aqueduct...
Very, very annoying.
Eva mentioned that that area...
Major,
Yes?
I was just wondering, why do they call you Zero?
God damn it. Exactly the reason why I didn't want to die. And I wanted to get back down below, but somehow it didn't work. It's... God damn it. Again, have to do all the housekeeping chores. It's so annoying. Dispose. Let's eat one. Dispose. Let's eat one. Cure. Do the digestive medicine. Do the camouflage. Man, it gets a bit tiring. Alright, my idea is maybe to get back there. Yes, then I can save actually. So, let's shoot the frog. But that's good. Let's shoot that new fish. Where is the new one? These are all regular fish. This might be the new one. There it goes. Here it comes. Very nice. Let's see what it is. You have earned a trophy. Tall tail. Big eye Trevally. Let's just eat it. Why not?
Disgusting.
Alright. Let's ask paramedic on that fish. Or let's actually do all these quickly. I will run through all these.
Eva mentioned that that area...
All these items we already heard. And then I will leave the area and get back into it. And that should save the state where Snake is in. So then we will not, even if I die later on, we will not hear those codec calls
Snake,
again.
the water in that aqueduct,
But even skipping
the
through
battery
them
recharge.
will be quite a lot, because I
Snake, I don't recommend.
did so many
With an
codecs.
equipped weapon in overhead view, press and hold the aim button to... The degree to which you move the left stick. Snake, if you step in...
Man, only now do I notice
Equip food as a weapon.
how many entries we heard
Snake,
earlier.
the Mark 22 is a tranq... Snake, let me explain the enemy's... After you've grabbed an enemy from behind with CQ... Press the crawl button during a... Snake, remember that the suppressor is a limit... Snake, certain enemy soldiers are equipped... It's possible to destroy the...
God damn it.
Snake, this operation is a sneaking mission. You'll be doing your job right under the enemy's nose. In the event that you're spotted by an enemy... Snake, I recommend against leaving the bodies of your victims lying around. If the enemy spots a fallen comrade, they'll realize that they've been infiltrated and strengthen their guard. When you kill an enemy, hide the body in the grass or at some other location where it won't be spotted. Stand near a fallen enemy and press the weapon button with no weapon equipped to grab the body. Hold the weapon button and move to drag. Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from... You can get inside... Snake, when you stand up against a tree... In the corner view, press the left step button. Move the right stick with the corner view on to shift the camera. If you have a gun equipped during the corner view, by equipping grenades and pressing the weapon, press the action button when you're on top of a...
Man, it was a lot.
While hanging, use the left stick, left step button.
It was really like, this whole episode was like codec.
You
Sorry
can't
for that.
keep hanging forever. Once you...
I just want to
If
get
there's
them out of
something
the
to
way,
grab onto during a fall,
so there won't be any repetition anymore.
press the crawl button while... Press the action button from on top a branch. If you approach an enemy undetected, you can rend... You can climb up onto waist high. Snake, press the left stick down on the... Press the CQC button when you're... Snake, if you find an item box... When you press the weapon button with the handgun, the assault rifle... The distance that you throw grenades and... In first-person view, use the right step button to take one... During first-person view, press the... When you creep inside a small space, the... Snake, did you notice that when you knock an enemy unconscious, thermal goggles create...
Almost there.
During first-person view, press the left and right...
Alright, I think we're looping
During
now.
first-person view, press the left... Snake, if you find an item box,
Yes, we are looping.
the battery recharges...
Ah, not really. That
Snake,
was a new
the
one.
Mark 22 is a...
This is an old one.
You can only grab an enemy using CQC when you're using a weapon that will allow you to reach
This
out
is
with your right
also a
hand,
new one.
such as the survival knife, a handgun, or your bare hands.
At least in
You
this
can't
episode.
grab the enemy when using weapons that take both hands to use, such as assault rifles, or that prevent you from controlling the enemy with your right hand, like hand grenades. In short, you can't use CQC when equipped with a...
This is also an old one.
The degree to which you move... Snake, when your stamina gets low, it negatively affects your physical abilities. You've got to replenish your stamina before it runs out.
Alright, so that was Major Zero. Quickly the
I
one
see
from
you found a
Paramedic.
Russian false. Snake, whatever happens to you. Snake, that area is home to the big-eye trevally. The big-eye trevally is a type of mackerel. The adult fish lives around coral reefs, but the young can be found in freshwater areas such as estuaries and rivers.
Alright. That's the one we just got.
Snake, that area should... Snake, that area is... Snake, it says here you can catch maroon sharks in that area. The maroon shark is found mostly in Southeast Asia, but it's not Snake, that river is inhabited by arowanas. The arowana is an ancient fish that lives in tropical freshwater areas. Because of its large size, I don't think you'll be able to capture one alive.
Alright, that was Paramedic. Now, a couple
You say
of
they have flying
for
platforms out there?
Sigint.
Flying platform. The armor plate. The flying platforms have a searchlight attached to the front. If you knock it out, that's... Whenever you find a new weapon or piece of equipment, the armor plate... The flying platform...
Alright, he's also looping, and Eva was not there, so we're good to go. Have exhausted all the options. Let's see if everything is okay over here. I think it is, except for equipping the crocodile thingy. Crocodile cap. Like so. And now let's get out of here. And let's get back in there and then save the game. And now everything should be remembered, even if we die. Save the game. No, by the... Yeah, okay, let's save the game.
You want to save? Hold on a sec. Chin up.
I'll be in touch.
Alright, so the frog should actually also already be saved in memory, but just to be sure, I will shoot it again each time I'm here. And just to test it out, I will also shoot that searchlight. Let's see what happens. That worked.
We're being attacked. Enemy position unknown. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
The searchlight broke. Going back for maintenance.
Acknowledged. Return to your post upon completion.
That worked. Holy shit, almost had that one. Let's shoot the searchlight of that one as well. God damn it, it's not working. is it not working?
We're under fire. Enemy position unknown. Commencing alert status.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
Am I too far away? I think so. Ah, shit. Such an idiot. Anyways, we saved the game, so that's good. And we'll continue in the next episode, guys.
What's your status?
Sorry, this episode really was very boring if you don't like codec conversations. Almost nothing happens, but yeah, it is what it is. I will try to, let's see, quickly test how this works. No, I want to actually... How does this work? I want to have it out of the water so that I can also breathe. Yeah, like so. Because now I'm still... this probably helps, maybe. To not be spotted from those enemies. Let's see if that works. So we go here. And then we do like so. And let's see if we get spotted. Nope. Pretty funny. So that's good to know. For the next episode, guys, hope to see you there. For the meantime, do not forget, always do keep on gaming. See you later.